Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of SEO Melbourne's digital marketing podcast. In this episode, we'll be focusing on Google's December 2020 core update. We'll be covering the details about the update, the effect it has had, and what you can do as a webmaster to ensure that the update affects your site positively instead of negatively. So stay tuned for that. Without further ado, let's dive into this topic. And firstly, it's very important to understand what a core update is. I've taken this information from the developers and webmasters blog and summarized it into 3 parts: what a core update is, why core updates occur, and the results that they have. So Google essentially outlines core updates to be significant broad changes that they make to their search algorithms and systems, and they refer to them as, of course, a core update. And when they provide reasoning as to why they occur, they're designed to ensure that overall Google is delivering on their mission to present relevant and authoritative content to searchers, which of course is a fundamental aim for Google. And the results that they have, as of course they are broad core updates, they produce some widely notable effects, and some websites experience either drops or gains in their rankings, and this of course depends on the SEO practices that they engage in. This is some additional information on the update. So it started rolling out on December the 4th, and you can see on the right I've included an image of Google Search Liaison's tweet where they outline more information about the update, and they provide a link to the webmaster's Google blog to read more about it. And we know that this update is more significant than the previous one, which rolled out on May 4th of 2020, also known as Star Wars Day. And you can find this Twitter at this account over here. Now, the majority of the update's impact so far was experienced on the 4th of December. As you can see here, I've taken this screenshot of SEMrush's search engine result pages volatility and over the last 30 days. And you can see this is when search volatility was at a peak when the update started rolling out. And as of then, it started to drop and go back to more of a normal level. But of course, the update is still rolling out, and it's important to pay attention to any further volatility. And this is where the graph was sourced from, if you want to check it out. Now, I find the responses to the latest update particularly funny because, of course, any webmasters or SEO specialists always wonder, what a core update is going to mean. So, we've gotten there's some Game of Thrones references over there, and I find this one funny. Google December promotion, get 30% off your website visibility today. But it doesn't mean that this update can it doesn't mean that this update has to affect your website negatively. It depends on the SEO practices that you engage in. So here is what you can do in response to the update. I've summarized this into 3 main techniques that webmasters can implement to increase organic search visibility. So first, focusing on creating high quality and valuable content that remains in line with best practices within the relevant industry of your website. And this is a particularly important one because Google, of course, does not want you to further add shallow content or duplicate content that already exists. Now the web has moved on to this environment where people need to be creating valuable new content and adding something to the community and to the search queries so that when people search for something, there's new information that is valuable, not already, existing one that's outdated. And of course, it has to meet, user expectations, and it has to answer questions on, the topic, of course, in depth, deliver information that the user is looking for, and also it has to go above the obvious, not a surface level as things used to be on the web previously. Another important piece of information that essentially webmasters and SEO specialists can use to ensure that this update doesn't have a negative impact on websites they're doing SEO on is making sure that content that is being created is shareable, as of course having others share someone's website post will help with their visibility. And also utilizing structured data to help search engines such as Google pinpoint the most relevant content for each search query is very important. And of course, resolving any SEO issues, for example, duplicate content, or if optimization was neglected at certain parts of a website, if there were no internal or outbound links, all of this stuff, could present obstacles relating to the UX of the site. So resolving these SEO issues would be very helpful with this update. Content is particularly highlighted with this core update. So I've created a content quality checklist, which of course I've taken the screenshot from the developer's Google blog, and you can find it with the link I've included over there, the URL. And essentially, when a new content piece is produced, these are some of the questions you should be asking yourself. If the content provides original information, reporting and research or analysis, if the content provides substantial, complete or comprehensive description of the topic, of course, if the headline or page title, H1, H2 tags, all of that, if they are in line with what users can expect to find on the page. And the checklist of course goes on, which you can read more about it by clicking this link, and I'll include it as well below. Another research for advice on great content, as provided again by the Webmaster's blog, is to review their search quality rater guidelines and also following the EAT or EAT technique, which means expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. And this is also very important and can help you with this core update. So make sure you read up more on it and educate yourself, as Google values this. And that's a wrap. Thank you for watching our SEO Melbourne podcast on Google's core update, which happened early this December. Thank you. And if you have any questions regarding the update, do check out the links that we have below. And you can always leave us a comment or message us. Thank you.